Hi there, I am the CRM Ninja, and on today's episode of the Oops Factor, I have Olena Borzenko. Welcome to the show, Olena.
Hi, thanks for having me.
It's wonderful. We've chatted in community stuff for so long. It's been amazing you haven't yet come on the show.
Yeah, it actually is really nice to be here. And I watched a lot of episodes of your show, and it's really great that you're doing this. And those stories which are people telling are also very great and interesting. So really great. And I'm proud to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
It's a pleasure of mine. Really great to have you on it. So I wanted to ask you about painting, hence my background, because I understand that you enjoy painting. I think my head's in the middle of a palette at the moment. So can you tell us how you got into it and what you enjoy painting
Yeah,
and stuff?
yeah, when I was in the mid school, I decided that I'm going to be that I want to do art. Like I had no idea
Okay.
what exactly, but I wanted to do art. And my parents, which both of them like were mechanical engineers, they looked at me and like, well, your choice, you decide how you're going to make money in your life, but it's kind of a weird decision. And they allowed me to do whatever I want. They even paid for some
Wow.
lessons, so that I can go there and really find out if I want it or not. But I also realized that it's just so depends on my mood that I can draw for like weeks and then I have like months of like I cannot do any of it. And yeah,
Okay.
I just realized that I cannot go like against nature and I should stick with some tech as my whole family and everyone like before. And but still it became my hobby, especially when I was married. My ex-husband, he was like sculptor and we used
Oh,
to do
wow.
we used to do some things together. Like he was getting like a lot of orders on like to paint stuff, and I was helping him, and I was getting into it more and more because I was interested to be like able to to give him an advice or just to say my opinion, and he always like um, valued it. Like he was always appreciating it that I'm doing.
That's
So
good. It's
it just
it's nice to have hobbies in common with partners that you can do together.
yeah, that's true. And I don't have enough time for this now, but I do have a lot of like stuff for paintings. Like I love watercolors. So I'm trying to find like time every now and then just to make some couple of pictures just for myself. I'm not trying to be
Yeah.
professional.
It's nice to do it and stuff. So what sort of scenes do you like? Like, do you like river scenes or sky scenes or forest scenes or
Um,
abstract?
I like some like fantasy paintings. Like I'm so like my whole life I was super obsessed with anime and like kind of like fantasy things. Yeah. And I'm not painting anime because you need to be like really good at it. But I do like the ideas, like getting ideas from them, like painting some like people with horns or like with some like nice flowers background, like like just a little bit of like fantasy points with many different colors and like combined with like figures and faces.
What
Well,
about unicorns?
I never did it. I love unicorns, as you know, but I never tried to. The horses. Horses are really complicated
They are.
in drawing because they have so many muscles that you need to really understand the anatomy behind it. Like it's quite easy to draw like female faces because they're so like grounded and smooth, and it's like the easiest you can do, and it's really hard to paint kids, to draw kids or like adult people, like elder people, but horses and animals are the most complicated in my opinion. Of
Got
course,
it.
like everyone has like they own, but it's my opinion.
Wonderful. Well, hopefully soon at some point we might just see unicorns appearing. You know,
Yeah, I should try it actually. I was thinking about it, but I just need some time.
and wow, we look forward to seeing it. So, on to the Oops Factor. What do you have to share with us today?
Yeah, I was like thinking, as being a developer, I always like I had a lot of like weird incidents and tech stories, but the I have a story. I'm always like going back to it, like even after all those years. I'm still
Okay.
having it as like a great a lesson I learned. It's a story when I was junior developer and I was about to join the hardest project and the biggest, and in the same time the best project I had in my previous company. And everyone
Okay.
was telling me not to do this, like don't join, because it was enterprise, was like 5 years of work which was squeezed in 2 years of estimation, something like this. And like they were everyone telling like deadlines already missed, it's not even started yet, but we already missed everything. But you know, this project was so important for a company. I don't know details how they managed to get into this, but it was really a huge trouble for company not to make it work. So for me, being as a junior developer, I haven't I was not having like that kind of experience to be afraid of something like this. I was like, how complicated could it be? Come on, like how stressful could it be?
So there were
Like
no red flags or anything that were like coming up in your mind.
not at all. You can like, you know, like those people which are telling me don't go, don't do this. It was like, no, that's like it couldn't be that hard, you know. I should
Yeah.
try it. I should go and check on my own. You never trust people, you know. And I needed a couple of weeks to realize that they were right. We were working under like enormous amount of pressure, but also I needed like we grew like from 20 people, we became like 40 or 45 people in a couple of weeks, not even months. And
Wow.
in a couple of months, we became a family. And you know what? We never had a fight inside a team. We never had an arguing even. People were so united with the same problem and with the same goals that everyone was oriented to find a solution. We had no time for our arguing. We had so tight like deadlines, and like timing was like the seconds. You know, every second was important. That
Every second is important. Yeah.
yeah, there just like was no way that someone would waste time for arguing. And
So
also
I mean,
our
it sounds, self-evident and that sort of thing, but it doesn't always happen.
yeah,
Occasionally, I know of projects and stuff whereby, the same thing, missed deadlines even before it started, and it's massive amounts of work shoehorned into a time that's less for it, but people just don't get on, and there are arguments. So that you experience that everybody came together as a family is really good.
yeah, you know, it was weird and kind of like magic. I was not able to believe that in this like you know, service company is kind of a body shop, like just yeah, maybe if I'm allowed to say like that, it's like they
Yeah,
selling people's time to work and like it's really hard to find that kind of team. And I think that the people who joined this team, like many people rejected to work on this project. And everyone who joined was either like searching for a challenge or was like searching for like you know, for something just interesting, or just
yeah,
had no idea what to expect. So some people were ready for this and was seeking for that kind of stuff, so they were mentally like up to it. And some people like me had no idea what to expect. And we had a lot of junior developers on this project, and we were like kids, you know, running around and having no idea like what to do. But we had a great manager which was protecting like our customer
ah,
was not an easy customer. Like he was the hardest customer we ever had in the company. He was protecting us from a customer. We were not talking to customers at all.
so you were
Managers,
really lucky there.
yeah, managers, designers, and business analysis, they were taking care of the part of the communicating to customers. We were working under a lot of pressure of challenges, of learning in days and hours new stuff and technologies, of implementing super fast. And it's not only about amount of lines of code you needed to write, but it's also
Yeah,
like you need to spend, like you need to really make those brain cells work and came up with a good solution. Because if you cannot change this after 1 month, you will get a bigger problem than now if you will spend extra time on thinking.
that's right.
So I Yeah, I remember that I was living in office sometimes in the middle of the night, uh,
Oof.
or like really, like I'm not joking. Like we were living in office in like 2 or 3 a.m. I was
Wow,
basically
that's
just
crazy.
sleeping. Yeah, I was just sleeping at home. I was coming, like I was living not that far, like 20 minutes from office. I was coming home. I had no time for my husband. I had no time for myself. I was coming home. I was sleeping. I was waking up in the morning, and I was just going straight to the office. I had breakfast in the office, lunch in the office, dinner in the office, everything in the office.
It's crazy.
And I remember when I got a task, like after some time, when I finally started to understand, like, where am I and what is going on around me. I got a task which was it was not a task. It was just extremely complicated challenge. We got a couple of people which were up to it, like was supposed to do it with me. We were standing in front of like whiteboard for like hours trying to figure out how we can make it work, because we needed to integrate some like role policies in a structure where there was like nothing prepared for it.
Yeah.
And at some point we find out what to do with the backend part, but UI part, which was written on Angular JS. And back to those times, it was just like it was already too complicated, Angular JS, an enterprise project, and you have deadlines, so sometimes like quality suffer out of it,
Yeah,
and
that's
we
true.
needed to do something which is require breaking changes, like completely restructuring the project. So we end up refactoring it. um, Me, junior developer, like it was such a great challenge. But I'm really thankful for all this trust I got from my team lead and from my like my bosses. They just put a lot of trust, like in me and a couple of my colleagues. We refactored a whole UI application. We basically made a separation in logic, so data will flow from like upper components to lower components.
Okay.
um, yeah, that's something what helped us then later on to solve those problems. But we spent like a couple of months on it, and that was that kind of rhythm, like midnight, like time for coffee and stuff like this. And it was crazy. But you know what? Um, every developer at some point of life need to spend those like extra hours, like overtiming, learning, investing, because you're still not that experienced. And that was the best place to spend this stage in your life, for me especially, because I cannot imagine a better place to grow so fast, that fast, that when I left this project, I was much more mature and experienced than everyone else with the same amount of like years of experience. And
It's good. It's good that you took such important things out of it.
yeah, I also like this evolution, like of being like joining as a junior developer. And in the end, I was spending a couple of weeks like leading my team. I had this trust from my team lead while he was gone. I
Awesome.
was leading the team. And it was, for me, I was not able to believe that like in such a short time, we everyone, it's not only about me, everyone on the team, all 45 people met so many challenges that they all
Yep.
grew. If I would ever need to build a rocket, I will find all those people, because they showed such a dedication to something. Like they were so united and working together all the time. We were hanging out together all the time. We had a lot of parties. Like we really became as a family, as I already said. And
Well, if Elon Musk is, has openings, I'm more than happy to nominate you and the rest of the team for it.
building rockets. And even it was such a great example, like when I was living a team, like we made it we made a successful delivery. If after 2 years of work we made a successful delivery, it was a win. And when we
Wonderful.
when we were living project, everyone was sad, like because we had something special. I never had anything like this after this, but
I,
uh, it was such a great experience, such a great lessons, that I realized it doesn't matter what technology and how beautiful and wonderful idea of the project, if you don't have people, great people surround you,
yeah.
you can work somehow. But if you really want to to have it like, great quality and really fast, people is the most important factor in here.
You need that team to gel together, to come together to deliver it.
Yeah, that's true. And after that, after like I had some other projects, and I had completely opposite situation in one of the projects. I had wonderful technologies, I had wonderful idea of the project, but team and management was so bad. I got so depressed and stressful and stressed in this project that I needed when I left company because of it, and I needed like 1.5 months to recover mentally
Wow, that's
because it
crazy.
was so bad. Like it was bad from all the aspects you can even imagine, like from starting from like personal things,
Yeah,
like crossing all the lines, and like ending by like professional, just like weird, like work in politics and stuff like this. And this, like when I had this project, uh, I learned those lessons even like even better, like how it is important to choose the right place for you. Uh,
definitely.
because yeah, even if you can work for a while, you
It's
just
that
want to.
human factor. It's just really, really important. It can make and break things. Doesn't matter how
Yeah,
difficult the technology is or whatever. If you've got that human factor there, you've got the team who gel together, come together, it's doing well, then they can overcome with it.
yeah, that's true. And it's just like it was so hard to. I was for some time I was taking part in like interviewing people and hiring people in the company. It was really hard to explain some other people that when you hire people, you need to ask yourself if you would be ready to join a team with this person. If you cannot answer this question as yes, I would be, then don't hire, because
Yeah.
it's such
Culture
important,
fit.
like to for everyone to be on the same like page. And it's not only about having a team. If you work in a service company, you have a constant rotation of people. I don't know, I had a lot of projects. I worked really with many different people. If I would hire just to hire, like, yeah, many
Yeah,
many projects would not tell me thank you. And that's what I can say.
I'm
But
sure.
yeah, when I was hiring, like I saw those people working in the office, and I saw them for a really long time working in the company, and I knew that I did a good hire. I knew that I gave a good recommendation, and I didn't like made a mistake. And yeah, that's
No,
all because
that's
of this last project, all those lessons, how to search for right people.
yeah, no, it's really important lessons to learn out of then, wow, it's a very powerful story again. It's not just about the actual physical blocks or technological blocks, it's about the team. It's really the team, that can make or break stuff. Because again, you could have a perfect scenario, but not a good team, and it breaks down. You could have the worst scenario possible, but a team that comes together, drives it, delivers it, it can go really well. So
Yeah.
yeah, thank you so much for coming on the show, Olena, and sharing that. It's been a pleasure to have you on it.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening. I was really happy to share my story.
Loved every moment of it, and hopefully the viewers and listeners will have loved it as well.
I
So
hope so as well.
indeed, so viewers, feel free to take a look at the rest of the Ooze Factor playlist, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the blog, and if you would like to come on the show and share your own Ooze Factor story, hit the link below, put your information in, and I'll drop you a line to have you come on. Have a great day.